Hey people of the VC, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder. Another quick vinyl update for you today. 5 or 6 more albums that are working their way from my inbox into my ears and onto the shelves. Let's dive straight in. First one is the debut album from Magus. Slowly but surely picking up as much Magus as I can on vinyl. I found a very good deal from a Discog seller that had 3 of the early ones, all slightly damaged, but the vinyl being in great nick. So I grabbed those, and the debut album, is the first time that I have I heard this early stuff. And for those of you who don't know Magus, certainly their newer material is a lot more, well, is very sort of epic heavy metal, whereas excuse me, whereas the early stuff has more of a sort of stoner tinge to it, without being full on stoner at all. It's very different. It sounds a very different band from the early stuff, and this was released originally in 2001. This is a 2014 reissue, if I didn't say that already. And but it's really good for me now to go back and kind of hear how they've evolved over time. They are a band that has evolved over time, rather than releasing the same album every single time. So it's kind of exciting for me to hear the roots. I have been working my way back slowly, so really I should have listened to the other 2 that I got first and worked my way right back to this, but I decided to dive in, listen to what they sounded like straight from the off, and I was really impressed. Tracks on here to check out: Generator, I'd say, is probably my favourite song, but that does sound much more of a traditional Grand Magus song that would fit probably on any album. It comes on, it's supposed to come on clear vinyl. I think this is whatever, there's 3 colours I think in all, and the green, or the clear, sorry, was one of 100 or one of 500, and the green was one of 100 or one of 500, one of the 2. But they obviously did the green pressings first, because they didn't clean the press. So this crystal clear vinyl, I don't know if you can see, certainly at the top here, has got green streaks all the way through it. And in fact, the whole record has a green tinge to it. Of course, I've got a bright light behind me, so it does look very white. There you are. I'll move it that way a bit. You can kind of see it's green all the way through, so it's not crystal clear at all. It's more of a light green transparent vinyl, but you know, not a lot I can do about that. In the sleeve as well, they are a 3-piece. I don't know if they've actually changed their lineup at all throughout. I'm gonna have to look that up. I presume it's the same guys though. But yeah, awesome Swedish epic heavy metal with a hint of stoner in there for the early days. Now, another classic 80s metal band that I knew nothing of back in the 80s, and a band that I started to see getting a lot of love and talked about quite a lot on the VC. Just started dipping my toe into them. I managed to pick up a reissue, and then one of the reasons why I hadn't gone into them sooner was I was looking out for OGs, and I was all about the OGs, but now I'm a bit more relaxed about things and happy to pick up reissues just so I can have a copy on vinyl in my collection. Shut up, Cloudy, let's just show the album. Cirith Ungol, 1 Foot in Hell. I think this is their maybe their third album. This is the Metal Blade reissue, 180 gram black vinyl. So Cirith Ungol are kind of another doom-laden heavy metal band from the reissue write-up. And this reissue was originally done in 1999. I was hoping it would have the original release date on here, but it doesn't. I think it may have been around 1986. Does the write-up mention that? It does, yes. Originally released in 1986. This is the 1999 reissue, reissued again in 2015 by Metal Blade Records. Great artwork. The write-up is a little bit, it's not the most flattering lineup. It talks about this period of Cirith Ungol wanting to playing catch up really on the likes of Metallica and Iron Maiden, who were sort of taking the metal world by storm in and around 1986, and they didn't want to be left behind. So apparently this is a lot more of a heavy metal album than some of their earlier stuff, which was a bit more, I think, sort of doom laden. Interested to find out more about the band. I know there's plenty out there online, and pick up some of the earlier releases as well. But One Foot in Hell, songs to check out. In fact, it's all. I love this album. It's probably a great intro for me to hear them being a bit more heavy metal and then work back into their earlier catalogue. But 100 Miles an Hour, Chaos Descends, Blood and Iron's a great opener. War Eternal, that's an epic song. And the song Nad Sokor, that one I think is a little bit more traditional Cirith Ungol. It's very doomy and epic and awesome as well. And the song Doomed Planet has got a fantastic chorus. I love that. It's you have to listen to it really, because I'm not going to sing it. It would sound absolutely terrible if I did. So, playing Black Vinyl, Metal Blade Records. And being Metal Blade, it comes with a large poster of the cover. But great stuff. Yes, I'll definitely be looking out for some more Cirith Ungol. Another band that I put in the same category as Cirith Ungol as being around forever, but being blissfully ignorant of them when I was younger, and discovered them through the the VC. Again, I held back picking any stuff because I wanted to get OG stuff, but you can't find OG stuff of this band, and but you can find, as I found, High Roller Records have basically reissued most of the catalogue. So over time, I'm hoping to pick up a few more. This is where I kind of dived in again from a High Roller Records purchase that I made some months ago now, but really only just started to digest. It's this Manilla Road live. And this is the Roadkill, the Raw tapes. It's live, obviously, and you've guessed it, it's raw as well. Even with the High Roller Records production, High Roller Records do a fantastic job in taking old recordings, putting together demos from bands and releasing them on vinyl releases. Even with the magic they would have done, it does still sound a little bit raw. Mark Shelton, obviously we lost him in the last few years, rest in peace. But still, it's given me a taste for wanting more Manilla Road in my collection, for sure. Witch's Brew is probably my favourite song that's on here. I'm not even sure what album that is on, but the next time I get myself together and do a High Roller Records order, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple of Manilla Road records on there. High Roller Records always do a fantastic job. Nice high quality stock, great sounding vinyl, and this one kind of comes on a blood red, almost burgundy, opaque wax. But yeah, happy to get some Manilla Road finally. And again, we have another poster that I will never put up. But great live shot. It's a very pixelated, obviously, shot here, stylized. But yeah, it's just a shame that a band that I will never see live now. Now, this is a band I discovered last year, and I dived all in with them. They're a new band. They're a Swedish melodic heavy metal band, maybe hard rock, classic rock, even. It's not a typical style that I would go for. But I've jumped in both feet. The band is Night, and this is their release from last year, High Tides, Distant Skies. No and about it. I guess they kind of sound how they look. There are heavy elements in here, but there are also quite melodic elements in here. I only received this last week. I should have received this last year. I'm starting to not do pre-orders on Amazon anymore, because they seem to put items up for pre-order and they clearly have no guarantees they're going to get any stock in. I was due to get the new Evil album today, but it's not arrived release day. It's disappointing. This, I cancelled the order 2 or 3 months after the release day because it was clear that I was not going to get it, and then it was very, very difficult to find anywhere. I mean, that's why I left it on the order open for those 2 or 3 months in case it turned up, because I just couldn't find this anywhere. I believe it was delayed from the presses, but then places started selling it, and it was quite pricey. But finally, I found a copy on eBay, of all places, and this has not left my turntable. Last night I spun this back to back 4 times, and that's not the first time I have done that. Let's say it's very... I find it difficult to describe. Do check it out, because I say it's certainly not heavy metal. And for example, one song here, Crimson Past, to me, the guitar tone on here sounds like Dire Straits, and I hate Dire Straits. Well, I don't hate them, they're just not a band I would ever listen to, but that song I absolutely love. The vocalist's style, when I first heard Night, I struggled to get into them, and I thought, well, it's one of these bands that you have a kind of a love-hate relationship, and the singer kind of spoils it. But then I listened to them again, and it clicked, and I just think he's got a bit of a unique voice. Obviously a slight accent in there with the Swedish, but the whole album for me, superb. Starting from Shadows Gold at the start, Burning Sky, Falling in the Black, Here on My Own, Lost. I'm reading them all out. This is a fantastic album. If I'd had this last year, this may well have been my number 1, and I don't say that lightly, because last year was a fantastic year. The only downside is it did come in just a hard card sleeve, and there are some minor scuffs on the record, but I'm not in a position really to send it back because it was the last one, and it plays fine. You can't hear any of the imperfections in the vinyl. It's just annoying when they don't put it in polyline sleeves, and damage happens. So that's Night and High Tide's Distant Skies. That's their 4th album, and their whole catalogue well worth checking out. Right, we're going to go back into OGs, or we're going to go into OGs, and just the one. And we're listening to some Reanimator and Laughing. This is their 1991 release, their 2nd full-length album. Still looking for their 1st. This is very 1991. So Reanimator are a UK thrash band, and it's 1991, so it is very much in this sort of funk and groove metal sound, but a really, really good album. Had I made this video last week, and this was nearly going to be in the video I had last week, I was going to say that this is an album I probably won't play much, but I'll grab. It's certainly not a thrash piece. Well, it haven't changed my mind playing it a few more times this week. It's not a thrash piece by any means, but it is a solid album. It's really enjoyable. There's a certain amount of humour to it. Rude Awakening, great start. Laughing's a good song. Monkey See, Monkey Dance has a Monty Python intro to it. That's quite good. Time and Tide, this song, Too Drunk to Fuck. That is a completely kind of left field song in the sound. It sounds more like a Clash song, sort of a Police Thieves type beat to it. So, but a really solid album. I really enjoy it, and been a fun spin this week. Inside we have the inner sleeve with all the thank yous and whatnots, and goofy pictures. But yeah, an album worth checking out. So it's 1991, so it's you're not going to get your full on thrash. You've got your jumping on the groove bandwagon here. But excellent album nonetheless. And last but not least, still can't end on a maiden. There aren't really maidens to get, so we're going to go back to Dio. Angry Machines, still going through picking up these reissues as of when I see them at the right price point for me. Now this was an album I hadn't heard before I picked it up, so it's really good discovering some new Dio for me. Originally, well, so this is the 2019 reissue. When was this originally released? Was it 96? Help me out in the comments. I don't recall. I did look it up, but the brain turns to cheese when I'm on here. Nicely done reproduction by BMG. Nice big writing for an old man like me. This album I think is really quite heavy, and I think it's really good. Favourite song, Institutional Man, is a great starting. Black, yeah, it's quality. The lineup on here, who do we have? We have Dio, obviously, Tracy G on guitars, Vinny Appice on Appice, sorry, on drums, and Jeff Pilson on bass. Although there are only 3 of them on the back, so maybe somebody fell out with them before the album was released. But killer artwork, as always. Heavyweight vinyl, custom labels. It's Dio, gotta have a Dio in the collection. Right, there we go. That's my latest vinyl update. Let me know in the comments about any of these that you like, where to go next with Cirith Ungol, where to go next with Manilla Road. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Have a great weekend.